Hello class, how are you? I hope you are doing great. These days we are talking about words like success and celebration. Therefore, doing great, doing better, achieving success, they are some of the better alternatives with us. Let's get inspired for those things. Today's class will be a very special class because we are going to talk about grammar section. Under grammar, do you know what are we going to talk about? Yes, we will be talking about prepositions and prepositional phrases. Let's see this paragraph and try to find some missing words from the paragraph. For example, look at the first sentence. Shubham was his school. What does it mean? Shubham was his school. That means there is something missing. He went the school canteen. He threw his bag, the table and sat a chair. When his order came, he hungrily ate momo, a set of spoon and fork. When he went to pay the bill, then only he realized that he had no money in his pocket. By now I think you clearly sensed some words are missing there. Now let's try to find. Yes, here are the missing words found. Yes, Shubham was at his school. Where was he? At his school. This at was missing. He went to the school canteen. To was missing. He threw his bag on the table and sat on a chair. When his order came, he hungrily ate momo with a set of spoon and fork. When he went to pay the bill, then only he realized that he had no money in his pocket. These words at, to, on, with, in, they were missing. And whenever such words are missing, we experienced how strange the sentences sound, how incomplete the sentences sound. Today, we are going to talk about these words. What are these words called actually? Any idea? I sense you have got some ideas. Words like at, on, in. These words are called prepositions. Very good. Now let's proceed. At first, why are they important in the sentences? We sensed a bit because without them, the sentences sounded incomplete. If so, now let's learn what is a preposition. Let's talk about what is preposition. Preposition, as we saw in the previous examples, preposition is a word that typically comes before a noun or pronoun and shows relation. Relation between whom? Noun and pronoun's relation in the sentence. We will see that with the example. But before that, let's talk about some of the prepositions. Prepositions may talk about some of the location. They talk about relation between any object and its location, its place, like in, on, at, under, above, behind, next to. These are prepositions of location. Similarly, there can be prepositions of direction. They may show the relation of the object or thing in relation to direction or its movement. Words like into, unto, towards, across, along, through, up, down. These words are prepositions of direction. Next, prepositions of time. When we show something in relation to time, like in, on, at, before, after, during, from, to. etc. Look at this example, this one sentence. The book is on the table. The book is on the table. This word, red highlighted word, this is a preposition, we knew it. On is used to link the book, the word book, with the table, or to show relation between book and table, we used on. Next, we will talk about some of the prepositions of place or location. Look at here, on. Here is a mouse. Mouse is on the box. On means if something is on the surface, on the board, on the box or on the board, on the surface of something. Where is mouse in the second picture? Oh, it is inside the box here. Therefore, we say in the box. Mouse is here under the box, under the box. Here is next to. Next to means at one side, next to. And here are two boxes and mouse is between them. When there come two things, whenever there come two things, for example, here are two sticks, between them, here is suppose a ball. There are two things, whenever there are two things in the middle of them, we say between. And whenever there come three or more than three things and something is in the middle of them, we can say among them. The ball is among the sticks now. Back to the picture. The mouse is between the boxes. Mouse is between the boxes because there are two boxes. Whereas the ball is among the sticks because there are more than two sticks. Okay. Next preposition here is in front of. Here is a box. The mouse is in front of the box. And where is mouse here? In the last picture, mouse is behind the box. Behind the box. Similarly, here are some other prepositions of place or location. In, on, and at will be typically talked about here. In front of any country, in England, in Chinatown, in a building, in a car, in a taxi, in a boat, in a helicopter, in a traffic jam, in Times Square, in the article. Similarly, in case of on a bus. I go to school on a bus, on a plane, on a horse, on the phone, on the internet, on the television. Remember it, not in the television. We say on the television. On the floor, on the page, on the menu, on Oxford Street. On Oxford Street, there is a street. On means beside the street, there is some settlement that is called on the Oxford Street. But Oxford Street rather came with some typical specification at 675 State Street. Any street rather with any typical that is called point of place, exact location. At is used in front of exact location. At any exact spot. At the bus stop, at the door, at the top of page, at someone's house, at the entrance, at the crossroads, at the front, at the back, at the bottom. Like this, we use different prepositions of place or location. Next, let's talk about prepositions of movement or direction. Here we talk in relation to movement of something. In the first picture here, you can see a breeze. The man is over the river or on the breeze, over the breeze, walking over, because over means vertically up. Towards means where the man is going. The man is moving to the direction of the house. He is walking towards the shop. Similarly, past means walking past. By walking, he is passing the house, walking past. He is walking past the shop. Next is across. He is walking across the road. In the next, he is walking along the road. Remember, better see here. See on the board, please. Suppose here is a road. If someone goes just crossing this road this way, just crossing, that is called across. But if someone goes parallelly as the road moves by its side, that is called along. The parallel movement is called along. Parallel movement. Next is round or around. He is walking round the tree or around the tree. Similarly, he is walking up the stairs, walking up, walking down, up, down. Not big deal, yeah? Into means going into some enclosed place. He is walking into the tunnel. He was outside. He was walking and going into the tunnel, inside the tunnel. The movement from outside to inside, to the enclosed area, that is called into. Similarly, next is through. He is walking through the tunnel. He walked not only from here, not only inside, he came out from the next side. That is called through. Generally, to mean through, someone should be disappeared for a moment. He went from here, disappeared a while, the tunnel closed him, and he appeared again. That movement is called through. Next one is out of. To mean out of, someone was inside there at first, inside the tunnel, and he came out of the tunnel. He came out now. He is walking out of the tunnel. And the next, under. Under means vertical down. The train is going under the bridge. We can see a bridge here. The train is going here, going under the bridge. That way we talked about prepositions of movement. Now, we're going to talk about prepositions of time. Look at these circles. At the core, you can see one clock. Generally, clock time like 2:30 p.m., 4 o'clock. These type of clock time, specific time, are used with at 2:30, at 4 o'clock, at noon, mid of the day, at sunrise, at night, at dinner time, like that. Generally to refer to exact time, specific time or clock time, we use at. Similarly, go to the second circle. On is used in front of days like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, in front of days, birthday, Christmas Day, these are days, New Year Day, these are days. In front of day we use on, And similarly, in front of dates also we use on. On August 10th, on 1st January 2013, 1st January, because this is exact date. In front of calendar date we say, we use on. Similarly, in case of in, here also is calendar, but if calendar shows longer duration, for example, if it talks about duration of a week, in a week, duration of a month, duration of season like spring season, duration of year in 1947. See here, here is at and night, here is in and the night. A bit confusing? No need to be confused. Here is at night means at any specific moment of night. In the night means during the duration of night. To mean in, there should come duration. The time should not be specific, it will be duration during a day, during a month, during a year, during a season, or a long period. Next, there can be other prepositions of time like from, to, by, till, until, during, for, since, before, after. These are other prepositions. Here are other prepositions of time with in, on, at. We have already talked about most of them in the previous picture. You can have a glance here. With these discussions, now we will go to our textbook. Let's go to the textbook, exercise A under grammar 1. The instruction says, choose the correct prepositions and complete the sentences. Here are given 4 options for each. We need to choose one of them, which one is the correct one. Let's go to A. Here is conversation between A and B. A says, when did you reach school? B replied, I reached sometime 9 to 9:15 a.m. Can you guess what can be the correct answer? Here is duration 9 to 9:15. That means right option can be between. Yes, between 9 to 9:15. Similarly, let's go to B. I usually stay in my office 10 to 4 p.m. Duration means 8:10 to 4 a.m. Certainly that doesn't work. On doesn't work. In comes with duration, doesn't work. That means from works here. Very good. Similarly in C, you should finish your test next 30 minutes. Oh, next 30 minutes is a duration. In next 30 minutes. Let's go to D. Noor worked in the hotel 2010 in. Oh, may not be, because until also may match the year. Yes, until is the right answer. Noor worked until 2010. Next is E. I have been looking my spectacles. I don't remember where I kept them. Oh, spectacles lost. I'm searching. To mean searching, looking for. I have been looking for. Very good. Go to F. Mr. Sahi has 10 members working under him. Could be above him. 10 members working under him would be the better option. G. There is a knock on the door. or at the door, in the door, for the door. Certainly in and for cannot be right option. Someone is knocking there means here you may get confused between on and at. Okay, someone knocks on the door, no doubt, on the surface of the board. Whenever you mean surface of the board, that is on the door. But when we talk about location of someone, we say at the door. See what it calls? There is a knock at the door who can be calling us. Door here is location, not only the surface. Surface of something may accept on, but we are talking about location. Therefore, at the door will be the right answer. H. Kritika is in her 20s. Not big deal. There is a great deal of violence in some countries. Great deal of. It is idiomatic expression. Great deal of means, this phrase means quite much, quite frequent, quite high in quantity. J. Their discussion turned into an unpleasant quarrel. Like this, you can use prepositions as per the requirement of the blank space. Next, let's go to exercise B. It says complete sentences with in, on, at. We have only 3 options to fill here. Water boils exact 100 degrees Celsius at. Water boils at. Similarly, last year we went a trip. We went in a trip, on a trip, at a trip. On a trip is a better option. Okay, correct option. Let's go to C. Can you turn the light on, please? I don't want to sit the dark. Sit in the dark. I don't want to sit in the dark. D. She was married the young age of 20. At the young age of 20. Let's go to E. Science and technology has developed a great pace. At a great pace. Next is F. My opinion. I think it is easy one. In my opinion, violent films should be banned for children. G. I heard the news in the radio or on the radio or at the radio this morning. On the radio. On the radio. H. My father is not at home at the moment. At the moment. Okay, these were the things we talked about. We talked about some of the common prepositions that we use in our day-to-day practices. Next, we are going to grammar second. Under grammar second, we will be talking about prepositional phrases. Look at these phrases. Here are some of the phrases like for the sake of, between the lines, without a doubt, beyond the horizon, around the corner, upon arrival, throughout the day, against the wall, out of the box, within reach, in cash, at playing, interested in, with each other, out of their hand, in a hurry, out of reach, on a diet, at large, on board, of the situation. These are groups of words. More than one words are there, and they are called groups of words. And what are these groups of words called? Yes, that is what we are going to talk about in Grammar 2. We are going to talk about prepositional phrases in Grammar 2. Prepositional phrases are those group of words they begin or end with some preposition, one or other preposition, and they include object of preposition, usually a noun or pronoun along with any modifier. For example, A says they worked day and night for the sake of children's education. For the sake of, for is preposition. Group of words came together with preposition, they are called prepositional phrases. For the sake of is one prepositional phrase. B, without doubt. C, interested in. These are examples of prepositional phrases. Next, look at some of the examples. In time, in demand, in sight of, in a hurry, within. Similarly with at risk, at a distance, at any rate, at least, by chance, by accident, by all means, by birth. Unbalance, on the air, on a trip, on account of. Similarly with for a reason, for certain, for good, for life. In all of these examples, we have one preposition. Therefore, they are called prepositional phrases. Now let's go to the task, the exercise given here in Grammar 2. The instruction says complete the sentence as below with the correct prepositional phrases from the box. Let's go to prepositional phrases in the box. In class, at playing, interested in, with each other, out of their hand, in a hurry, out of reach, on a diet, at large, on board of the situation. Now let's go which one fits where. Let's go to A. The accident took place as the bus and the lorry collided. Bus and the lorry collided with each other. Collided with each other. Similarly, B. Amin is brilliant at playing the violin. He plays violin and he is brilliant at playing. C. Mr. Sharma is not politics, is not, which option can be there? Is not interested in? Yes, Mr. Sharma is not interested in politics. D. The criminal who took the lives of 5 is still, what can be there? Still at large. Still at large means still not in catch, or they haven't been able to catch, or still away from contact. E. I cannot contact him. His phone is out of reach, because could not be contacted. Because it is out of reach, we cannot contact now. Let's continue. F. The concert went ... They had to call the police. Oh, the concert went out of their hand, means out of control. They couldn't control, and they had to call the police to take control of the situation. The situation went out of control, that is out of their hand, and to control, they had to call the police. G. Sanskriti is these days for fear that she put on weight. She will put on weight. Putting on weight means getting heavier, getting fatter. If so, she is worried about her body weight. She is on a diet. She is on a diet means she is mindful about her nutrition or her diet. It's, I cannot talk to you now. I am in a hurry. I am in a hurry, therefore I cannot talk to you. Similarly, even though the plane had to take an emergency landing, all the passengers on board means whoever were inside the plane, they were safe and sound on board. Last, do you remember which one is left? Would you like to make the payment ... or by the check, in cash or by the check? Yes, with it we have done Grammar 2 exercise 2. Dear students, in today's class we talked about Grammar 1 and Grammar 2 exercises under Unit 16. We talked about preposition. We started the class with what is a preposition. We said prepositions are such words which show relation between the noun with its different other functional words. We talked about some common examples under some of the types, like we talked about prepositions of location like in, on, at, under, in front of, behind. We talked about prepositions of directions like into, along, towards, past. We talked about them. Similarly, we talked about prepositions of time. We talked about in, on, at, until, before, after. They are prepositions of time. And after that, we discussed about both exercises A and B under Grammar 1. After that, in Grammar 2, we talked about prepositional phrases. We said what prepositional phrases are. Then we went through some of the examples and their uses in the sentences. Finally, we talked about the exercises and we concluded our discussion. Okay, dear students, with this discussion, I hope many of the things have been clearer to you. Let's try to recall some of the things which we studied today. As assignment, you'll make a list of 5 of each of the prepositions of location, prepositions of directions, prepositions of time, and prepositional phrases. Not only that, after making list, you will have 20 prepositions. As you made 5 of each of the preposition, you'll have 20 prepositions. Now, use any 10 of the prepositions. That means out of 20 prepositions, try to use any 10 of the prepositions or prepositional phrases in your own sentences. While using prepositions in your sentences, you will learn quite a lot about their differences too. With this, we have come to the end of today's class. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next class. Stay studying. Remember that perseverance and hard work pays a lot. Thank you, class. Bye-bye.